The ultimatum, the stars around Earth, seemed darker than usual. Admiral Sarah Chun stood on the bridge of the UN Space Command Station, watching the massive ship appear on their screens. The Zarkonian warship was 3 tons bigger than anything humanity had ever built. Its black metal hull blocked out the sun as it moved closer to Earth. "They have stopped at our defense perimeter, Admiral," Lieutenant Park reported. His hands shook slightly as he worked the controls. Sarah nodded. She had trained for this day, but seeing an alien warship this close to Earth still made her heart beat faster. "Open communication channels. Let us hear what they want." The main screen flickered to life. Commander Zircon appeared, his gray skin stretched tight over a skull too large for any human. His 4 eyes looked at them with disgust, like someone looking at insects. "Humans of Earth," Zircon spoke, his voice deep and cold. "I am Commander Zircon of the Zarkonian Empire. Your planet has resources we need. You have one choice. Surrender now, give us what we want, and we will let some of you live as workers. Refuse, and we will take everything anyway. You will all die." Sarah kept her face calm. She had dealt with bullies before, though never ones from space. "Commander Zircon, I am Admiral Sarah Chun of Earth. We welcome all peaceful visitors. Perhaps we can discuss trade agreements that benefit both our peoples." Zircon laughed. It sounded like grinding metal. "Trade? With primitives? You barely have space travel. Your weapons are toys. What could you possibly offer the Zarkonian Empire?" Ambassador Yong-hoon stepped forward. The Korean diplomat had spent years preparing for first contact with alien life. This was not how he had imagined it would go. "Commander, Earth offers unique biological resources, art, culture, and willing partnership. War benefits no one. Let me present our proposal." Silence. Zircon's 4 eyes flashed red. "We have watched your planet. You fight among yourselves over small pieces of land. You pollute your own air. You are children playing with technology you do not understand. The galaxy will be better when the Zarkonians control your resources." On the moon base, Dr. Mingjun watched the conversation through secure channels. He turned to his colleague, Dr. Co Yeon. "They think we are weak," he whispered. Co Yeon nodded, her fingers dancing over her tablet. "Let them think that. The Prometheus protocol is ready. All hidden satellites are in position." Back on the space station, Sarah tried once more. "Commander, Earth has 7 billion people. We have children, families, dreams for our future. Surely your empire understands mercy?" Zircon leaned closer to the camera. His teeth were like black knives. "Mercy is for equals. You are not our equals. You are resources that happen to speak. You have 24 Earth hours to surrender unconditionally. If you do not, we will burn your cities one by one until nothing remains but ash." The screen went black. Sarah stood still for 3 seconds. Then she turned to her crew. "Send coded message to all hidden bases. Activate Protocol Omega. Make it look like we are preparing to surrender. Admiral?" Park looked confused. "We are going to fight them?" Sarah smiled grimly. "No, Lieutenant. We are going to teach them why humans survived everything Earth threw at us for 200,000 years. We asked for peace. They refused. Now they will learn what happens when humanity stands together." Yong-hoon was already on his communicator. "All diplomatic channels, prepare final peace offers. Make them public to the galaxy. Everyone must see we tried everything to avoid this. Deep beneath Earth's oceans, in bunkers on Mars, in secret facilities on Europa, humanity's real military forces began to wake up. The Zarkonians thought they were dealing with a young, weak species that had barely reached space. They were about to learn how wrong they were." Zircon stood on his bridge, confident that in 24 hours Earth would be his. He did not notice the small satellites drifting into new positions. He did not detect the signals bouncing between Earth's colonies. He did not know that humanity had been listening to galactic communications for 50 years, learning, preparing. The countdown began. 24 hours until Earth showed the galaxy why peace should never be refused. Asterisk, the deception 20 hours remained on Zircon's countdown. Earth appeared to panic. Large civilian ships launched from every spaceport, fleeing toward Mars and the outer colonies. News broadcasts showed crying families boarding evacuation vessels. The planet's defensive satellites powered down one by one, their lights going dark against the stars. On the Zarkonian command ship, Lieutenant Zex watched the screens with his 4 eyes narrowed. "Commander, this seems wrong. Why would they lower their defenses while civilians are still evacuating?" Zircon waved a gray hand dismissively. "Because they are cowards, Zex. They run like scared animals. Look how their military pulls back. Even their moon base has gone silent." But Zex kept watching. Something felt wrong about how the human ships moved. They looked panicked, yes, but their flight paths were too organized, too precise. "Commander, request permission to scan their evacuating ships." "Waste of time," Zircon grunted. "Let the rats flee their sinking ship. We will hunt them later if we need more workers." On Earth's surface, Admiral Sarah Chun stood in a hidden bunker 500 meters below the Pacific Ocean. The real UN command center was not in space. That was just for show. The actual nerve center of Earth's defense had been built in secret. "Status report," Sarah ordered. 15 civilian ships have reached safe distance," reported Captain Martinez. "The Zarkonians have not scanned them. They still think these are refugee vessels." Sarah nodded. Each civilian ship carried Earth's most advanced weapons, hidden beneath false hull plating. Their scared refugees were actually Earth's best pilots and soldiers. In Seoul, Ambassador Jung-hoon made another public broadcast. He stood before the cameras, his face drawn with fake exhaustion. "Commander Zircon, Earth begs you to reconsider. We are preparing to meet your demands. Please give us more time to evacuate our children." The message played across all galactic channels. Other alien civilizations watched as Earth seemed to crumble before the Zarkonian threat. Some felt pity. Others felt relief. It was not their world under attack. But on Mars, Dr. Min Jun smiled as he watched Jung-hoon's performance. "He should have been an actor," he told Seo Yan. "The whole planet is acting right now," she replied, checking her quantum computers. "The defense grid is at 90%. The Zarkonians still have not detected our underground generators." The Martian colony looked abandoned from space. Emergency lights flashed and distress signals repeated on loop. But deep inside the red planet's caves, 2,000 soldiers waited in advanced battle suits that the galaxy did not know humans possessed. Back on the Zarkonian ship, Zex approached his commander again. "Sir, the humans have sent another peace offer. Should we?" Zircon laughed and opened the communication for his entire crew to see. Jung-hoon appeared on screen, bowing low. "Please, Commander Zircon. Earth surrenders. We need just 8 more hours to. You had 24 hours. Zircon roared. "Now you have 16. Beg more, and I will reduce it further." The transmission cut. Zircon's crew laughed and cheered. They had conquered 40 worlds, and Earth would be the easiest yet. Lieutenant Zex did not laugh. He pulled up his personal scanner and aimed it at one of the fleeing human ships. The reading made no sense. The heat signature was all wrong for a civilian vessel. It looked more like Zex. Zircon barked. "Stop wasting time. Prepare the ground assault forces. I want to walk on Earth soil by tomorrow." "Yes, Commander." Zex closed his scanner. But the doubt remained in his mind. Sarah watched the enemy fleet drift closer to Earth, moving past the outer defense perimeter. They were confident, careless, perfect. "Ma'am," Lieutenant Park whispered, "are you sure they won't detect the satellites?" "The stealth coating was based on their own technology," Sarah explained. "We learned it from captured Zarkonian probes they sent to spy on us 5 years ago. They never knew we found them." On the moon's dark side, 300 fighters sat under sensor-blocking nets. Their pilots waited in cockpits, breathing steady, hands ready. Colonel Jackson spoke over their private channel. "Remember, we look weak until the signal comes. Then we show them why humans are the apex predators of Earth." Dr. Min Jun sent an encrypted message to Sarah. "All quantum weapons online. The gravity wells are charged. Waiting for your command." 10 hours remained. The Zarkonian fleet had moved into perfect position, surrounded by what they thought were helpless, fleeing humans. They prepared their weapons to destroy Earth's major cities, already choosing which ones to burn first as examples. Commander Zircon stood tall on his bridge, savoring his coming victory. "Send message to the Empire. Tell them Earth falls tomorrow." In her bunker, Sarah Chun looked at the positions of every ship, every satellite, every hidden weapon. The trap was set. The Zarkonians had refused peace, shown no mercy, and threatened genocide. "All forces, this is Admiral Chun." She spoke into the encrypted channel that reached every human soldier in the solar system. 8 hours until we remind the galaxy that Earth is not prey. We are the hunters. Stay ready." The countdown continued. Earth waited, playing dead, while its claws remained hidden in the dark. The revelation that 24 hours expired. Commander Zircon stood proud on his bridge, his 4 eyes gleaming with anticipation. Begin the assault. Target their capital cities first. Show the galaxy what happens when primitives refuse the Zarkonian Empire. The massive warship's weapons powered up, glowing purple with destructive energy. The first blast shot toward Earth, aimed at New York City. The beam never reached its target. A golden shield materialized around Earth, absorbing the energy like water into sand. The blast that could have leveled the city simply disappeared. "What?" Zircon stepped forward, his gray skin turning pale. "They have planetary shields?" "Impossible." Our scans showed nothing. Lieutenant Zex's 4 eyes went wide. "Commander, I'm detecting massive energy signatures appearing all around Earth." They were hidden somehow. Sarah Chun's face appeared on every screen in the Zarkonian fleet. She was no longer the pleading diplomat. She stood straight, wearing full military armor, her eyes hard as steel. "Commander Zircon," she said calmly, "you were offered peace. You refused. You were offered trade. You laughed. You threatened our children, our families, our world. That was your mistake. Impossible." Zircon roared. "You are primitives. You barely reached your own moon 50 years ago." Sarah smiled. It was not a kind smile. 50 years ago, we let you see us reach the moon. We have been listening to your communications for much longer. Every probe you sent to spy on us, we captured and studied. Every technology you carelessly broadcasted, we learned. Did you really think a species that survived ice ages, plagues, and world wars would not prepare for threats from the stars? Around Earth, hundreds of satellites dropped their stealth coating. Each one was a weapons platform that hummed with barely contained. Power. Dr. Min Jun's voice came through the communication. "Commander Zircon, I am Dr. Min Jun, Earth physicist. Your ships use quantum entanglement for navigation, yes? Very clever. We improved it." Suddenly, every Zarkonian ship lurched. Their navigation systems screamed errors. Space around them began to bend strangely. "We call them gravity wells," Izio Yan added, appearing beside Minjung on the screen. Your shields are designed for energy weapons. They do nothing against localized gravitational fields. Thank you for the ID. We learned it from your own scientific broadcasts. The fleeing civilian ships stopped running. Their false hulls fell away like snakeskin, revealing sleek battlecruisers bristling with weapons. They turned as one, facing the Zarkonian fleet. No. Zircon slammed his fist on his command chair. All ships, destroy them. Kill them all. The Zarkonian fleet opened fire. Purple beams and plasma bombs filled space like deadly fireworks. But the human ships danced between the shots with impossible grace. They were smaller, faster, and their pilots had trained for this moment. Colonel Jackson's voice rang across the human fleet. All fighters, launch. Show them why humans are the dominant species of Earth. From the moon's dark side, 300 fighters erupted like angry wasps. They were tiny compared to the Zarkonian vessels, but they moved like nothing the aliens had ever seen. Human pilots, raised on video games and flight simulators, pulled maneuvers that should have been impossible. Commander, Zex shouted, their fighters are inside our shield perimeter. Our weapons cannot track them. They are too small, too fast. Jung-hoon's face appeared on Galactic broadcast channels. But now, he stood beside military officers from dozens of Earth nations. To all civilizations watching, he announced, Earth did not want this fight. We begged for peace. The Zarkonians brought war to our door. Now witness what happens when humanity unites against a common threat. The hidden Mars colony came alive. Missile silos opened in the red sand. Thousands of guided projectiles launched, each one carrying a payload the Zarkonians could not identify. They were not nuclear Earth, had developed something better. Nanite torpedoes incoming. A Zarkonian officer screamed. They are eating through our hull. Zircon watched in horror as one of his destroyer ships began to dissolve. The human weapons did not explode. They consumed. Breaking down the ship's metal atom by Sarah Chun opened a channel to the entire Zarkonian fleet. You called us primitives. You said we were children. But children learn, Commander. And we learned from the best, from every transmission you sent, every weapon you showed, every mistake you made. Lieutenant Zex looked at his readings in disbelief. Commander, I am detecting more human ships approaching from the asteroid belt, from Jupiter's moons, from Saturn's rings. They have bases everywhere. How did we not see this? Because, Sarah replied, having heard his question, you never thought to look. You saw what we wanted you to see. A weak, divided planet, barely able to reach space. You never imagined we were already spread across our entire solar system, waiting, preparing for visitors like you. The Earth's defense grid fully activated. Quantum computers linked every human ship, satellite, and base into one unified force. They moved together like a single organism, anticipating each other, covering weaknesses, maximizing strengths. Zircon's mighty warship shuddered as human fighters strafed its engines. His indestructible shields flickered and failed under gravitational assault. His proud fleet was being torn apart by an enemy he had dismissed as insects. Commander, Zex said quietly, we should retreat. We cannot win this. Zircon's four eyes blazed with rage and disbelief. The Zarkonian Empire had never lost. They had never even struggled. And now, these primitives were destroying them with their own technology, improved and perfected. How? Zircon whispered. How is this possible? On her command screen, Sarah Chun's expression was deadly serious. Because you gave us the greatest gift an enemy can give, Commander. You underestimated us. And now, it is too late to correct that mistake. The revelation was complete. Earth was not prey. It never had been. It was a sleeping giant, and the Zarkonians had awakened it. Asterisk the turning tide. The space around Earth had become a graveyard of Zarkonian ambition. Dr. Co Yeon watched her screens with grim satisfaction as her experimental gravity weapons pulled 3 enemy destroyers together. The ships crashed into each other with a terrible grinding sound that echoed through space. Their crews scrambled to escape pods, only to find those 2 were caught in the gravitational field. Gravity wells at 60% power, she reported to Admiral Chun. We can increase to full power if needed. Hold at 60. Sarah commanded. We want survivors to tell the galaxy what happened here. The human fighters swarmed like angry bees. Captain Amy Thompson barrel-rolled her fighter between 2 Zarkonian cruisers, firing micro-missiles that burrowed into their hulls before exploding. The enemy ships tried to target her, but she was already gone, diving below them where their weapons could not reach. These humans fly like madmen. A Zarkonian pilot screamed over their communications. Not madmen, Colonel Jackson corrected, having hacked into their channel. We are pilots who grew up dreaming of this. Every video game, every flight simulator, every science fiction movie prepared us. You gave us 24 hours to get ready. We have been ready our whole lives. On the Zarkonian command ship, Lieutenant Zex watched his tactical display in growing despair. Red dots destroyed Zarkonian vessels filled the screen. Commander, we have lost 40% of our fleet. Their losses are ... minimal. Zircon could not speak. His empire's greatest fleet was being destroyed by a species they had classified as barely sapient. His 4 eyes tracked the battle, watching human ships perform impossible maneuvers, seeing his own weapons turned against him. Commander, an officer shouted. The humans have boarded the battleship Vexter. Sarah Chun led the boarding party herself. 50 human marines in advanced armor burst through the Vexter's hull. The Zarkonians inside fired their energy weapons, but the human suits absorbed the blasts. Sarah's team moved with practiced precision, clearing rooms, stunning enemies with sonic weapons. Remember, Sarah told her marines, we are not them. Stun only unless they give you no choice. The Zarkonian soldiers had never fought in close quarters like this. Their empire conquered through overwhelming force from space. But humans had thousands of years of ground combat experience. They moved through the ship like water through cracks, inevitable and unstoppable. In 20 minutes, the Vexter was under human control. Dr. Min Jun activated his masterpiece. Admiral Chun initiating viral upload to their fleet network. The virus was not meant to destroy. It was meant to humble. Every screen in the Zarkonian fleet began showing images. Earth's history, its struggles, its triumphs. Children playing, families laughing, soldiers dying to protect their homes, scientists working to cure diseases, artists creating beauty. What is this? Zircon demanded. Jung-hoon's voice echoed through every ship. This is humanity, Commander. This is who you tried to destroy. We are not just resources. We are a species that turned a hostile planet into a home. We survived everything the universe threw at us. And we did it together. The virus did more than show images. It disrupted the Zarkonian fleet's synchronization. Ships could not coordinate. Weapons fired randomly or not at all. The mighty Empire's perfect military machine fell apart. Manual control. Zircon ordered. Fight individually if you must. But individual Zarkonian ships were no match for humanity's coordinated assault. The humans fought like pack wolves. When one attacked from the front, another struck from behind. When enemy weapons turned to track one fighter, 3 more hit from different angles. Captain Rodriguez of the battlecruiser Moscow spoke over an open channel. Zarkonian fleet, this is Earth Force. Surrender now, and we will show mercy. Continue fighting, and we will end this permanently. Some Zarkonian ships tried to retreat, to run back to their empire. They found their path blocked by human vessels that had somehow appeared behind them. The asteroid belt had hidden an entire fleet, waiting for any escape attempt. Impossible, Zex muttered. They planned for everything. Every move we might make, they prepared a counter. From across the solar system, allies revealed themselves. Ships with markings from the Altarian Republic, the Centauri Collective, and dozen other races emerged from hiding. They had been secretly supporting Earth, waiting to see if humanity could stand against the Zarkonian threat. "Earth friends," an Altarian commander transmitted. "We apologize for not revealing ourselves sooner. We had to know if your species had the strength to resist. You have proven yourselves. The galaxy stands with Earth." Zircon's rage turned to desperation. His mighty fleet was down to 30 ships from the original 100. His command ship's shields were failing. Human Marines were boarding more of his vessels every minute. "Commander," Zex said urgently, "we must surrender. If we continue, none of us will survive to warn the Empire. The Empire does not surrender to primitives." Zircon roared. "Look around you." Zex shouted back, forgetting rank in his desperation. "They are not primitives. They played us for fools. They let us think we were superior while they prepared our destruction. Commander, please, our people need to know the truth about humanity." Sarah Chun appeared on Zircon's personal screen. Behind her, the captured Vexter powered up with human crews at the controls. "Commander Zircon, you have lost. Half your fleet is destroyed. The other half is crippled. Earth's allies have revealed themselves. You are surrounded, outgunned, and beaten. But we are not you. We offer one final chance. Surrender." The bridge of Zircon's ship shook as another gravity well pulled at its structure. Sparks flew from damaged consoles. His officers looked at him with fear in their 4 eyes. Not fear of the humans anymore, but fear that their commander's pride would get them all killed. Outside, the human fighters had stopped attacking. They hovered like patient predators, waiting. The message was clear: surrender or be eliminated. Zircon looked at his tactical display. The proud Zarkonian Empire's greatest fleet, reduced to begging mercy from a species they had come to enslave. The bitter taste of defeat filled his mouth. Lieutenant Zex stepped forward. "Commander, I respectfully relieve you of command under Empire Code 7 mental inability to lead during crisis. I am taking control of the fleet." Before Zircon could protest, Zex opened a channel to the humans. "Earth forces, this is Lieutenant Zex, now commanding the Zarkonian fleet. We surrender. Please, show the mercy your ambassador promised." The space around Earth fell silent. Hundreds of human weapons remained locked onto the surviving Zarkonian ships, but they did not fire. Sarah Chun nodded slowly. "Lieutenant Zex, your surrender is accepted. Prepare to receive boarding parties. Any resistance will be met with immediate destruction. Comply, and you will be treated fairly." The tide had turned completely. The hunters had become the hunted, and then the defeated. Earth had won. Asterisk humanity's terms, the survivors of the Zarkonian fleet hung powerless in space, their weapons disabled, their engines dead. Human ships surrounded them like shepherds around wounded wolves. The mighty empire that had conquered 40 worlds had been broken in less than a day. Admiral Sarah Chun stood in the United Nations Space Assembly Hall, a massive structure that had been hidden inside the moon. Representatives from every Earth nation sat in circular rows. But for the first time in human history, they spoke with one voice. "Bring them in," Sarah ordered. The great doors opened. Lieutenant Zex entered, flanked by human Marines. Behind him, former Commander Zircon walked in chains, not because humans demanded it, but because his own people had arrested him for his failures. Other Zarkonian officers followed, their gray heads bowed, their four eyes unable to meet the gaze of the primitives who had defeated them. Jung-hoon stood at the central podium. The diplomat who had begged for peace now held the power to dictate terms. Lieutenant Zex, you stand before the combined leadership of Earth. You came to our world with threats of slavery and death. You refused our offers of peace. Now you will hear our terms. Zex straightened his shoulders, trying to maintain some dignity. We are prepared to hear your demands. First, Jung-hoon began, you will send a message to your empire. You will tell them exactly what happened here. No lies, no excuses. Tell them that Earth wanted peace, and you refused it. They will not believe we were defeated by. Zircon started to speak, but his own officers silenced him. Second, Jung-hoon continued, the Zarkonian Empire will pay reparations. Not to Earth, we need nothing from you, but to every world you have conquered. You will free them all. Gasps came from the Zarkonian officers. That is 40 worlds. The Empire will collapse. Dr. Min-jun stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. Empires built on slavery deserve to collapse. You will free every species, return every stolen resource, and apologize to every civilization you have wronged. Third, Sarah Chun took over, her military bearing commanding attention. Earth will keep your fleet's technology. Consider it payment for forcing us to reveal our capabilities. We wanted to meet the galaxy in peace. You forced us to show our strength. Zex's four eyes showed pain, but he nodded. What else? Fourth, Jung-hoon said, surprising everyone with a smile. Earth offers membership in a new alliance. Not as conquerors or conquered, but as equals. Every species, including the Zarkonians, working together for mutual benefit. Zircon laughed bitterly. You defeat us and then offer friendship? What game is this? Dr. Co. Yan answered him. It is not a game. It is humanity. We could destroy you, but what would that achieve? Another empire would rise, more wars would come. Instead, we offer a different path. The display screens around the hall lit up, showing the battle's aftermath. Human medical ships were already treating wounded Zarkonians. Human engineers were repairing life support on damaged enemy vessels. Human soldiers were sharing food with Zarkonian prisoners. This is madness, Zircon muttered. You should kill us all. That is what strength means. No, Sarah Chun said firmly. That is what weakness means. True strength is having the power to destroy and choosing not to. True strength is turning enemies into allies. Lieutenant Zex watched the screens, his four eyes wide with disbelief. A human medic was risking her life to save a Zarkonian soldier who had tried to kill her an hour ago. A human pilot was teaching a captured Zarkonian pilot how their fighters moved so fast. Enemies were becoming something else. Why? Zex asked, genuine confusion in his voice. Why show mercy to those who showed you none? An old man stood up from the Earth representatives. It was Professor Williams, Earth's senior philosopher. Young alien, let me tell you about humanity. We have done terrible things to each other. We have had wars that killed millions. We have committed genocides, destroyed our environment, and almost ended our own world many times. He paused, letting his words sink in. But we learned. Every mistake, every horror, every war taught us something. We learned that hatred only breeds more hatred. Violence creates more violence. The only way to truly win is to make your enemy stop wanting to be your enemy. That is why we show mercy. Not because you deserve it, but because we choose to be better than our worst impulses. Around the galaxy, billions of beings watched this moment. The Altarians, the Centauri, and dozens of other races saw something they had never witnessed. A species with the power to conquer, choosing to liberate instead. Ambassador, Jung-hoon produced a documented treaty written in dozens of languages, including Zarkonian. These are Earth's terms. Sign them, and your surviving people go home with medical aid and supplies. Refuse, and you remain prisoners until your empire agrees. Zex read the terms carefully. They were harsh but fair. The Zarkonian Empire would effectively end, replaced by a confederation of free worlds. But his people would survive, would have a chance to redeem themselves. If I sign this, Zex said slowly, my name will be cursed in the Empire forever. Or, Jung-hoon suggested gently, your name will be remembered as the one who saved the Zarkonian people from complete destruction, the one who had the wisdom to accept defeat and choose a better future. Zex looked at Zircon, who sat in rage and shame. The old commander represented everything the Empire had been: proud, cruel, taking what they wanted by force. But that path had led them here, defeated by a species they had dismissed. I need to ask one thing, Zex said. How long have you been preparing for this? How long has Earth been hiding its true strength? Sarah Chun and the other human leaders exchanged glances. Then Sarah answered, since we first detected radio signals from space, over 100 years ago, we knew we were not alone. We hoped for peaceful contact, but we prepared for the worst. Every nation on Earth agreed, if aliens came in peace, we would welcome them. If they came in war, you would destroy them, Zex finished. No, Sarah corrected. We would stop them, and then offer them a second chance. That is what makes us human. Zex picked up the signing device. His hand, gray and four-fingered, trembled as he prepared to end his empire and begin something new. The galaxy will know that Earth offered peace. We refused. Earth offered mercy. We accepted. Let all who come after learn from our mistake. He signed the treaty. The hall erupted in applause, not just from humans, but from the allied aliens who had been watching. The threat was over. The Zarkonian Empire would fall, but its people would survive and perhaps grow into something better. As the Zarkonians were escorted to comfortable quarters to await transport home. Zircon turned to look back at Sarah Chun. You know others will come. Others who are stronger than us. Sarah nodded. We know. And we will offer them the same choice we offered you. Peace or consequences. Most species are smart enough to choose peace. And if they are not? Sarah's smile was confident and slightly dangerous. Then they will face humanity's wrath. And as you learned today, Commander, that is something no one should want to face. The news spread across the galaxy at the speed of light. Earth, the small blue planet that had barely reached space, had defeated the Zarkonian Empire not through superior numbers or ancient technology, but through unity, preparation, and the courage to stand against tyranny. But more importantly, they had shown mercy. Other aggressive empires reconsidered their expansion plans. Peaceful civilizations reached out with offers of trade and friendship. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Earth preferred peace, even begged for it. But those who refused peace would face humanity at its most dangerous united, determined and absolutely unwilling to surrender. From that day forward, when ships approached Earth's solar system, they came broadcasting messages of friendship. They had all heard the story. They all knew the warning. Earth's hand is extended in friendship. Take it and find a loyal ally. Slap it away and face humanity's wrath. The choice, as Earth always insisted, was theirs to make. Dr. Min Jun stood with Seo Yun, watching the Zarkonian ships being repaired for their journey home. Do you think they will keep the peace treaty? Seo Yun nodded. They will. They have seen what we can do when threatened. More importantly, they have seen what we choose not to do when we win. In the distance, Earth floated in space, blue and beautiful, no longer alone, no longer defenseless. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as protectors. And the galaxy was better for it. The Zharkonians had refused peace. They had faced humanity's wrath. They had survived to tell the tale, and that tale would echo through the cosmos forever. Do not mistake humanity's love for peace as weakness. For when peace is refused, there is no force in the universe, quite like humanity united in defense of their home. Earth's final warning had been given. The galaxy had listened. Peace was always an option. War with humanity was not. The end. Asterisk.